start by bringing our fingertips together in Hakini Mudra. You may have seen me do this one before. Hakini Mudra is where you take your fingertips together and you're just gently pressing them towards each other. And you can rest your Hakini Mudra in your lap like this. You can bring it in front of your heart like this. And perhaps close your eyes and feel each fingertip touching. So thumbs, index fingers, middle fingers, ring finger, and pinky, them touching. And as you feel them touching, tune into your breath, of course, as it is. And so Hakini Mudra cultivates balance. And as it's almost like when you put your hands together, it's almost like you could think about balance. You don't have to. You might do this when you're talking to people naturally and not even realize you're doing it, because it is a natural instinctive thing to do. So you could think about balance, but we could also breathe in a balanced way. Let's breathe in and out through the nose. Our belly breathing, so belly's expanding first. And just notice in a non-judgmental kind of way, but more of a way like, oh, this is how I'm breathing. Breathing in and breathing out at your pace, not how I'm cueing you. I'm always going to tell you inhale and exhale, but your timing may be different than mine, and that's absolutely fine. But just kind of notice, is the inhale longer than the exhale? The exhale longer than the inhale. And just by you focusing on your breath, it generally starts to even out as we breathe in and we breathe out. When we focus on it, the breath gets more even. We can cultivate different energies by one getting longer than the other. By the inhale getting longer than the exhale, that's a more energizing breath. By the exhale getting longer than the inhale, it can be more of a relaxed breath or a strengthening breath, depending upon how we approach the exhale. And then notice, let's breathe in for about 3 or 4 counts on the inhale and 3 or 4 counts on the exhale. Take a few breaths on your own. Just kind of noticing as you inhale it, 1, 2, 3. Some of you might feel comfortable going to 4, 5, or 6, and then exhaling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. You get to modify it for you. Breathing in and breathing out through the nose. Breath is in. And breath is out. Good. And then you can release your mudra at any time. But let's just say, I just want to bring this to your attention. Anytime you're feeling kind of off balance, this is a great place to come. And I mean emotionally or physically. If you're feeling and you want to cultivate balance, breathing in an even kind of way, or it might not be even. Let's just say you're really revved up. You start to breathe and you take this mudra into your hands, literally, and you might close your eyes and you will start to cultivate a little bit more of a balanced state. Does it happen like that right away? Not necessarily. It's going to depend on where you started, but it's a great place to go for balance. Let's start to circle on the hips as we wake up our body. You might have already done a movement class today or not. And so honor where your body is at this moment, circling one way and then the other, feeling the sensation of moving. And let's return to neutral sitting bones and lift our shoulders up to our ears and crunch your face. So crunch your eyes and your cheeks and your forehead. You might not be able to do it all at once. And then release and let it go. And let's do that again. Inhale, Lift the shoulders to your ears, maybe make a fist with both hands and crunch your face. And exhale and let it go. And circle your shoulders around and about. So up, back, around, and down. Breathe in and breathe out. Good, this should feel nice. And then let's take our hands into cactus, so bent elbows. Yep, wonderful. And let's extend and pull in. And extend and pull in. Reach and pull in. And reach and pull in. Good. Let's lift the right arm to your extent right now. Here comes Oscar. He wants to come in, and then the left hand is up, and then the right, and then the left, up, one side, and then the other. Good. So we're reaching up, maybe get a little bit higher each time, a little bit more up towards the ceiling, towards the sky, reach up to your extent. So if you start to feeling like, ooh, this is it, that's it. Come back down, because each time you do it, it might get a little bit more, but we don't want to force anything. And then wherever your arms land, whether it's here, 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 or here, come on up, relax the shoulders, and then take your right arm and reach it high, and then your left. And alternate. Okay, Oscar, I'm going to let you in, but you're not coming in and out. Keep reaching up one side, then the other. In or out, Oscar. All right, he came to visit us today. Yeah, Oscar, we're busy reaching one arm and then the other. Awesome. And then reach both arms to your fullest, wherever that is. Breathing in and out, and let's let the arms just go. Good. Now we're going to do one of my favorite eye exercises, but I'm going to shift it a little bit. So we're going to look, our nose is going to be centered, so you're looking forward, eye level, and then keeping the nose centered. So belly button and nose are lining up, and chin's about parallel, and we're sitting up tall. So when you're sitting up tall, take your ribs over your pelvis. Notice how that starts to engage things. Then gaze up towards, that we're looking at a clock. Gaze up towards the sky, or 12 o'clock. And then gaze down towards 6 o'clock. Gaze up to 12 and down to 6. It could be morning or evening for you. Midnight, or 6 p.m. at night, or noon, or 6 a.m. in the morning. And then bring your vision back to center. Now we're going to go right and left, back. So nose is centered. We're staying left, chin is level. Keeping your face forward, look to your right, inhale to center, look to your left, inhale to center. Look back to right, and back to left, and back to right, and back to left, and come to the center. Now we're going to go from 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock, because I'm reversing it, 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and then from 7 to 1. All right, so face is neutral, look up towards 1 o'clock, then down to 7, back to 1, down to 7, 1, 7. Make sure you're breathing while we do this. Now we're going to go from 11 to 5, 11 to 5. Got that? So look up to 11 o'clock, down to 5, up to 11, down to 5. One more time, and return to neutral. All right. Let's lift our right arm. We're into a half goalpost. And we're gonna lift up tall, rib cage over pelvis. Take a little side bend towards your left. And then come back to neutral. And again, and reach and come back. And then reach, this time lift your left heel. And then as you come back, lower it down. Left heel rises as we reach to the left and lower it down. Next time, we're going to lift the heel and the arm. As you lower it down, gaze to your right. Lift it up towards the left, heel rising, lower down, look to your right. Inhale back to center and release, let that go, other side. We've got our left arm up, reach towards your right. Now you guys are welcome to extend the arm as much as it's physically accessible to you. Make sure you're breathing in and out with your movements. Next time we take the arm towards the right, lift your right heel and bring it down. Right heel, reach towards the right. That's right. That's right. You got this. That's pretty funny. That's right. That's correct. That's correct. Good. And one more. And then when you bring it down, gaze to your left. Back to reaching towards the right, heel rising. Bring it down, look to your left. One more. Reach it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Gaze to your left. Come on down. Take both arms up. Here we are in our Hakini Mudra. Open it up. Goalposts. Close it. Open it. That's right. Close it and open it. This should feel good because we're so often crunched forward. So this should feel nice. Open it up. Let's take the arms wide now. Bring it together and wide. Bring it together and wide. Now bring it long forward, out wide. Long forward, out wide. Breathe in, breathe out, and breath is in, and breath is out. You have got this. Now let's release that. Let it go. Drop your right ear down towards your right shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out. Okay, Oscar, go. Go, go, go. One more time, breath in, breath out. I'm telling you, canines. Then let's drop the left ear down towards the left shoulder. 3 breaths here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Really feel that lengthening. Breathe in. And breathe out. And lift your head back up and circle your nose around and about. Loosening up tightness that may have crept into the neck region. Good. And now let's open up our feet a little bit wider. Your width is going to be different than my width. So find the width that's right for you where it's not like, ouch, but you're getting a little bit of stretch over time. You can always open it up wider when you're ready. Then we're going to take our hands onto our thighs, lean forward, sitting bones back, weights in our feet, push down through the toe pads, circle the shoulders up and back, extend that lower back, 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 back and back. And then we're going to push down through our feet, rise up, we're into our goalposts. You got it. Let's do that again. Bring the palms down, circle the shoulders up and back, lean forward, sitting bones back. Now notice, is the neck tensing? If it is, usually that means you need to drop the chin slightly. We don't want to drop it so far that our shoulders round. We want to feel like our neck is lengthening. Let's push down through our feet, our toe pads, rise up. Yep, you got it. So one more time, this is like a cobra pose. And we're going to add a little bit of a back bend, tilting the elbows forward and the back of the hands back a little bit. All right, here we go. Hands to thighs, circle shoulders up and back, push down through feet, rise up, find a little bit of a back bend. So you're lifting your heart towards the sky, tipping your elbows slightly forward. And come back to neutral. Beautiful. And slowly walk your feet back towards each other. Let's extend the right leg long, push the heel down, lift tall, interlace your fingers, press away. Good. Open up your arms into a T. And we're going to take our left hand towards the right thigh and our right arm behind us for our first twist of the day. Now, when you're twisting, take an inhale to lift up, 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 up. And pull your ribs back and imagine twisting from about your navel up. So twisting towards your right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back to center. Bring the heel back in. Extend the other side. Heel is forward. Toes are towards us. Inhaling, interlace fingers, press them away. Feel your rib cage over your pelvis. Breathe in, breathe out. Lower your right hand down towards your thigh or your hip, whatever it touches. And then your left arm's coming back behind you. Inhale. Twist from your navel. So head turns left. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back to center and let's alternate extending legs. So right and then left. And right and then left. And then we'll add in our arms. So right and left, kicking forward. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. We're going to add in opposite arms. So when left leg is forward, right arm is forward. And then switch it up. And switch it up. That's right. Reaching forward, pushing down through heel, thumbs up, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Feel your breath as you move. Now, let's take the opposite arm out. So left leg is forward, right arm is out to the side. Switch it up. Switch it up. Switch it up. You got it. Breathe in, breathe out. Do you have to go as fast as me? Absolutely not. Do you want to go faster than me? Go right ahead. Breathe in, breathe out. One more, each side. And then keep both feet out. Hold on to the side of your chair. Point your toes away from you. Pull them back in. Point them away. Pull them back in. And then circle your ankles. The range of motion go one way and then reverse it. Reverse it. Here are your snap, crackles, and pops. Awesome. Good. Let's bring our feet back in. We're going to play with the vision. So our eyes with our balance poses. So for spinal balance, we're going to take the left leg forward, the right arm. You decide. You can also hold on to the side of the chair with your left hand. You could have a block out here or two blocks or pillows or whatever, books. And here we are. So you can play with this. And while we do this, we're going to play with our vision. So first, let's start by gazing forward. Breathe in, breathe out, lower it down. Next time we lift up, we're going to gaze from right to left, moving our head and our eyes. Here we go. Gaze right, gaze left, gaze right, gaze left, gaze right, gaze left, release, let it go, take a little break. If you're getting dizzy, then ignore this part. Just play with the strengthening of our spinal balance. You're lifting this leg, muscles are activating. If it's too much going back and forth like that, or you need to go slower, then do it. This time we're going to look up and down. And so we're going to move our head. We're going to look up, and then we're going to look down. We're going to look up, look down. The leg can stay up or come on down. One more, up and down, release, let it go. Last one, we're going to look at a diag. So you're going to look up in your upper right corner of the room and lower left corner of the room while you do your spinal balance pose. And maybe we'll vary it. We could do our arms. You could do your arm kind of like that, or you can take it out to the side, either one. So here we go. Leg lifts, or you place it where it's good for you. Gaze to the upper right corner, down to the lower, and up and down and up and down. Come back to center. All right, last one on this side, you close your eyes. So an advantage to this is to really feel the sensation of the pose, but just kind of notice your balance with eyes closed and spinal balance in your version. You might point the toe or flex the toe. You can even circle it, but eyes are closed. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Let's let that go, let it go, let it go. In between sides, let's do a little shifting here. So knees one way, then the other, kind of like windshield wipers. Yep. And you can let your body move with it. Just to, when we do these static poses, we want to bring in some flowing too. All right, other side with our spinal balance. So now right leg's going to go forward, left arm is out to the side. And you might notice a difference and you might not. Usually one side is easier than the other, right? So what we're doing now is we're strengthening, we're working on balance. Arm out to the side, maybe leg lifting. By the way, you can help your leg. You can have your hand underneath it, or maybe you push against, like if your hand is here to the outside of the thigh, you can push into it. That's also a nice one. So first we gaze forward. Then we're going to gaze from left to right, left to right. Breathe in and breathe out. Come back to center. Release the leg down. And let's go for the up and down movement now. So gaze up, gaze down. Gaze up, gaze down, and up and down. And release. Last one, we're going at a diag. Upper left to lower right. Upper left to lower right. Here we go. So you're gazing to the upper left, lower right. Upper left, lower right. Upper left, lower right. Take a break. Now we'll go from upper right to lower left. Upper right, lower left. Upper right, lower left. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Maybe one more, and let it go. All right, enough of that stuff. Let's go back to opening and closing and opening and closing and opening and closing. We're going to start to do some moving or seated action, and we'll keep it going with this eye stuff. I'm going to get this out of the way for now, and let's do warrior 2. So bent knee, and on the right side, adjust yourself on your seat. or bend the back leg, which would be the left leg in this circumstance, or straighten it. And then we're going to turn our vision towards our front arm and breathe in and breathe out, and let's flow it. Back arm down, front arm up, and back arm down. I'm sorry, front arm down, back arm up. So it's like a flow, like this. That's it. You've got it. So we're going to eventually, you can already start. If you want to stand while we do this, feel free to. Feel free to. And come back to neutral. Feel your warrior two. Sitting bones moving back, push down through feet. Let's bring our fingers together in Hakini Mudra in our warriors. Now, we're going to play with gazing forward and our faces forward. We're going to keep gazing forward as we turn our head towards the right and then come back to center, and do that a few times. Gaze the head towards, the head is moving to the right, but the gaze is still forward. Come back to center. One more time. Gaze forward. And now keeping the head there. Keeping the gaze there, move the head, keeping the gaze forward. Back to center. Let's move our feet back to each other. Let's do some rocking forward and back and forward and back, and move to warrior two on the other side. Left knee's bent, right knee is bent or straight. Push down through toe pads, adjust yourself on the seat. Float your arms into a T, and let's find our little back bend here. So we're reaching up for our, it's like a side back bend, and come back to neutral and find the other way. Engage your core. So don't let those ribbies move forward. Pull the ribs back at center. Then as you move towards your back bend, your ribs are staying back there. Here we are, we're flowing, breathing in and breathing out. You're welcome to rest your forearm on your thigh, or you can have one hand in front, one hand above. How about that? Come back to neutral, and we'll move now. We're going to gaze forward. Well, actually, let's do this first. I forgot. Gaze over your front fingertips. Push down through your feet. Center of heel, toe pads, mounds of toes. Then come to center. You can keep your arms wide or into Hakini Mudra. We're going to keep our head forward, but keep our gaze forward. Turn your head towards the left, back to center. Heads forward, heads forward, gaze is forward. Move head, but keep gaze forward. One more. Gaze forward. Move head to the left, back to center. All right, enough of this stuff. Move your feet towards each other, and let's do some standing poses. We're going to do triangle, and we're going to do some heel lifts. So if you're going to stay in the chair for triangle, it looks like this. And you can vary it with your arms. You can vary it with a block in front or back of your leg. Your front heel is pushing down. The back knee is forward and over the ankle for triangle seated. Triangle standing. Triangle standing. Wide. So notice how we do these poses, right? They become familiar to our body, but we change up our focus when we do them. You can have a chair in front of you or to the side of you. Let's go wide. We are wide. Knees are soft. Notice where the weight is in your feet. It should be about center. If it feels back, often it helps to bring a little micro bend to your knees. Push down through the toe pads without squeezing the toes. Then we're going to turn our right toes to the side. Arms are in a T, or hand may be on the chair, right? So we're gonna lower the right arm down towards the leg or the chair and right hands to your hip. We're gazing forward. Breathe in, breathe out. Let's gaze down. Let's gaze back forward. Maybe you lift the left arm skyward or keep the elbow bent. Your decision. Breathe in, breathe out, push down through your feet, tone your belly, keep your sitting bones moving back and wide. Really anchor down through that right heel. Breath is in, breath is out. Now, if you want to play with balance, you can change where you gaze. That's one way, like you could gaze up, or you could close your eyes for a split second. You must feel safe to do that though. Please feel safe if you're going to close your eyes, and you'll notice there's a little bit of, you feel a little bit of rocking in your body, right? Because your body's always trying to find its medium. Let's push down, rise up, turn all 10 toes forward, and bring your hands either down or hold on to your chair that's in front of you. Really push your feet down like you mean it. And then we're going to gaze forward. Now, gazing forward, so pretend I have a chair in front of me, or maybe I should just do it. Huh? Here we go. Chair is in front. Now, dropping my little cushion here. So we're gazing forward. Now, we're going to keep our gaze forward as we turn our head towards the right, to center, and left, and center, and back, and one more the other way. And that's kind of interesting. It's good for the eyeballs, right? Now we're going to keep gazing forward, lift the head. That's really hard for me. I don't know if it's hard for you. You gaze forward, but you're lifting your head. Gaze forward, lower your head down. Gaze forward, lift your head. Come back to center. I don't know about you, but I really have to think about it and gaze down. So head, chin is down, gaze is forward. All right, let's bring our feet back together. And we'll do the other side for triangle. So if you're seated now, your left leg is going out to the side. Standing, here we are. So you could have your chair in front of you or to the side of you. I always want you to know that you have the option for that. Now, push down through your feet and give them a little bouncy action. Let's just kind of bounce it. Notice if it feels like your knees are falling in, and try to push them out slightly if it feels like they're falling in. Then let's push down. We feel our hips tone, turn the left toes out. Notice if the ribs are coming forward, pull them back. Relax the shoulders down your back. And let's tip our body towards our left, hand to chair or hand to leg, gazing forward. Take your awareness down to your feet. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, one option, if you're feeling super balanced, might be to bring your hands into Hakini Mudra here, or arms at a diag, or arm lifting up from the shoulder, right? Really lengthening. Push down as you lengthen your spine. So your spine is going at a diag. We're just creating space as we move our body in all different directions. Maybe you gaze down to vary the balance. As soon as I gazed down, I felt a shift. That's why holding onto a chair is a good thing to do. Then let's shift our chin and our gaze up towards the sky, and maybe we see our wiggling fingertips. Bring the gaze back to neutral. That's where you're going to feel your head neutral. Maybe you close your eyes for a breath or two or three. Notice how that feels. You're going to feel this internal shifting going on, trying to maintain balance. Push down to your feet, rise up, all 10 toes forward, jump or walk your feet together. Moving towards heel lifts. Heel lifts. So feet are about hip distance apart. If for balance you need to widen it, then do it, right? I mean, maybe this is where you need to be. So ask your body, where do I need to be? So this is essentially your adapted mountain pose. And then from here, we're going to lift up onto our tippy toes. Hands can be at your hip or hips. And then exhale and slowly lower down. So inhaling up. You could also have an arm up overhead or out to the side. That's going to take things a little imbalanced though, really. But you can play with it. Exhale, lower your heels down. Really feel your heels come on down. Let's lift up. Exhale, it's like you're dropping the heels, getting a little bit of vibration in the body. Inhale, lift up, hug inner ankles towards each other. Ankles are lifting. So this is an isometric. Pretend you had a block in between your feet and you were hugging it. And then let the ankles go and soften the knees. Let's move towards chair pose and we'll lift up onto the balls of our feet. So first, chair pose. When in doubt, sit your buttocks back. If you're seated, you can rock forward and back and maybe lift up. If you're standing, you're going to bend your knees, take your sitting bones back, take them back, back, back. Now notice if your heart starts to drop, lift your chest up as you take your sitting bones back. Pull your ribs back. Breathe in, breathe out. You know what you should feel? Thighs working, thighs are working. Now we want to be close enough to the chair that when we come up onto the mounds of our feet, we don't feel like we're leaning forward. So it looks like this. That's what we want. We want to go straight up and down. We don't want to do this because that's really not feeling very balanced. So if you need to get closer to the chair, then do it. Let's bend knees, sitting bones back, heart lifted, sitting bones back. Feel your feet. You're going to push down, push down, push down to your feet. Inhale, lift up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your knees, lower your heels down, come back into your chair pose. You can play. You can start to play with one or both arms lifting in front of you, or maybe in Hakini Mudra in front of your heart. And then push down through your feet, lift up onto your tippy toes. From here, we're isometrically hugging the ankles towards each other, that imaginary block in between our ankles. And then maybe you play with one hand coming up, the other, up overhead. You decide where the yang position should be. Then some of you might play with Hakini Mudra while you've got your ankles and your heels lifting. When you're ready, drop it on down. So when you drop it down, try to go slow, keep a softness through the knees, and really feel your lower part, or the back part of your foot coming down, so your heel, essentially. One more time. Lift up. Play with your balance pose. You're gazing at something that's not moving as you breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And let's exhale. Lower down. Awesome. Let's play with a sun salute. It's how we got to play with sun salutes. I mean, you guys who are in Florida, you might not feel as much of a need here, but in Michigan, it's kind of gray. So one or both arms are going to lift up. Keep a softness through the knees. Bend your knees, hands to your thighs, sitting bones back, round your spine, chin to chest. You certainly can be doing this in the chair. Lift up, arms forward, maybe up, sit on down. Exhale, hands to the thighs, roll the shoulders up and back. Pull the ribs back, Push down through your feet, extend your heart forward, shoulders up and back. Lengthen your sitting bones back. Your knees can be bent. You get to decide how much you straighten your legs. Sitting bones are back, heart is forward. Breathe in, breathe out, and lower the arms down to your extent, but try to keep long through the spine. Long through the spine. Take inhale, next inhale, hands to your hips, push down through your feet. Feel your strong legs and hips. Inhale, arms rise up. Hands to Hakini Mudra. One more time, salute the sun. Lowering arms down. Inhale, they rise. Maybe you gaze up towards your fingertips. Soften your knees. Sitting bones back. Maybe arms are wide this time. Maybe hands are on thighs, but keep lengthening spine forward. Shoulder blades on back. Lengthen crown forward. Exhale, release. Gaze down. Inhale, lift up. Push down. Arms out to the side. Salute the sun. I honor you, sun. Please come out. I know you're there. Hands at your heart. Lowering on down to the earth, or you can stay in a chair. Highly recommend, if you're staying with us, to have 2 chairs, because that's going to help you adapt some of these poses. And I'm going to bring a block, 2 blocks, a strap, and blankets as we come on down for the last part of our class. It sure goes fast. So towards the chair, lower one knee and then the other, and then you can move your chair to the side. I'm going to move this to the side too, so you don't have to stare at it. So coming down now onto hands and knees. Hands and knees. Placing the blanket to cushion the knees. We'll do a few yoga push-ups. So spreading fingers, palms just about. So when you look down, your wrists are under your shoulders and your fingertips are a little forward. Press the finger pads down. Feel the shoulder blades come onto your back. So you can lift your shoulder blades up and then lower them down. See how that feels. Lift them up, lower them down. If your wrists are sore, come onto your forearms. One more time. Lift the shoulder blades up, and then you'll drop your chin slightly. And then drop the shoulder blades and lift your heart so it's neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's circle the right knee around and about. Circle it around and about. So if you're in a chair, lift up your right knee and circle it around. As you breathe in and as you breathe out. And then extend the leg. Lower the toes, push the heel away. Get a little calf stretch there. Rock forward and rock back. Then bring the knee back underneath your hip. We're going to gaze towards the right hip, back to center, gaze towards the left. So your body's curving in little C curves towards the right and towards the left. Breathe in and breathe out, side to side. Let's come onto the forearms, or maybe you're putting your hands on a cushion for your wrists. I'm going to kind of roll it like this a little bit, and then we're going to do our push-ups. So we bend our elbows, elbows come into the side, push down, rise up. We're not going like this, dropping down, okay? So we want to keep strong. It's not about how low you go. Now, you want your belly engaged and your lower ribs are lifting, but shoulder blades are on the back. Gaze forward and down, push down, rise up. Gaze forward and down, elbows skim the sides of your body. Keep pushing down through the pointer finger knuckle. One more. Forward and down, elbows towards each other, rise up, release, find a child pose. Toes together, knees apart. In the chair, take your knees apart, and if you have another chair in front of you, put your hands on it. Then we're gonna find our way to our child pose. Now, some people like to do things like this. I just like showing it because there's so many variations, but you could have your arms something like this, and then pushing down onto the blocks as you lengthen. You're lengthening your sitting bones back behind you. Breathe in and breathe out, and breath is in and breath is out. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, and breathe in and breathe out. And walk your walk your hands back towards you. Let's find our way to butterfly. So if you're seated in a chair, you have two choices with your seated butterfly. One is that the toes are down and the knees are out to the side. It looks like this. So that's one. The other one is you have a second chair and you're putting your feet up on that chair. So either one is great. And seated, we want to be on a blanket or two. And then let's come to our butterfly. So feet together, knees apart. A lot of people feel much better with blocks underneath their knees and their thighs. And you can turn the block like that, or flat. Then, so you can also adjust how close your feet are towards you or how much away they are. So I'm going to go about midway here, pushing feet towards each other. And then sitting bones are moving back. My shoulders are up and back. My ribs are back as I lean forward. So the spine is long rather than rounding over. So we're keeping our spine long, our shoulder blades on our back. Breathe in and breathe out, and breathing in and breathing out, and breath is in and breath is out. And walk your feet back at your feet. I keep doing that. Walk your hands towards each other. Now let's play with lion's breath here. Lion's breath. If this is too long to stay in the pose, and then come out of it and come back to neutral, or shake your legs out, either way, and then maybe go back in. You can always shake your legs out. What's wrong with that, right? Shake them out, shake them out. You feel a tremor coming on? Shake it out, let it go. Just let it go. Don't fight it. Don't fight it. Let it go. Shake it out. We're going to do lion's breath. So lion's breath is kind of funny looking. Don't make fun of me. I'm going to take my hands to my shins or my knees, lean forward, long spine, and stick my tongue out. So think about a lion that takes a big yawn. Think about their big tongue that's sticking out. Let's do that again. And you're making the sound of, it's like the ha that you steam up the mirror with, or fog up the mirror with. Ready? A big long exhale. We breathe in. One more time. Do it with me. Release, let that go. I don't think you guys were doing it with me. I just got to say, I'm not sure that you were. Okay, let's do our number 4 pose. And you have choices, always choices, right? Adaptive yoga is all about choices. So in the chair, you're going to cross one foot over the other, or maybe placing your foot on a block with the knee out to the side. On the earth, we can take our hands behind us. Well, first, we might take a foot over like this. This is one way. It doesn't have to be the way you do it. Okay, just one option for you. And I can tell you, I'm feeling this in my right hip. But we also could be down on the earth. Down on the earth. And cross foot or ankle over thigh, pushing with your right hand away, making sure hips are level, because one of the mistakes I see is the hips lifting up. So try to keep the hips level. And then you might play with bringing the knees towards you to that place where you feel opening. Doesn't mean it's coming all the way towards you. You can keep your hands on the outsides of your thighs or weave your hands in between your two legs as you pull the left knee in towards you, and you feel a stretch in this right hip or inner thigh. So if you're on the chair, you can do the same pose. Same pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breath is in. And breath is out. Let's do a few more. Breathe in, feel the sensation of this opening. Breathe out. And lower your feet down. Let's extend the right leg. Extend it, push the heel away from you. Then lift your right arm and reach it back. Reach it back. Breath is in, breath is out, and then lower the arm back down. Now, we're going to switch it up. So bring the right foot back and extend the left leg long and take your left arm up and then exhale it back behind you. Push your ribs down. Breathe in. Breathe out. You're pushing your ribs down. You can push your right foot down and your left heel away from you, or you can point it and play there. Then bring both feet back in and let's do our hip stretch on the left side. You might bring your knees in towards you or keep them away. Remember, pelvis is level. So you want to feel like it's about even weight in your pelvis. Find your expression of this hip stretch. And then take several breaths in your hip stretch. So throughout your day, this is one you could do in the chair for certain. We spend so much time sitting. So it'd be good to spend a little time in this pose and make sure your hips are open. Very, very helpful. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in. And breathe out. Then we're going to release our feet down. Now we're going to do something fun. We're going to do banana pose. I hope this is all fun for you, really. But banana pose really is a side bend on the earth. So what it looks like is extend your legs. Now, if you're seated in the chair, you're going to do a side bend because that's essentially what banana pose is. We're going to walk our feet towards the right and then our upper body towards the right. And your arms can be elbows bent or you can extend them. This is a banana. It's a banana. I'm going to show it this way. Maybe you can see it too, just so you can see what a banana looks like. A human banana. Some of you might cross this foot over, but don't feel like you have to either foot. Get more of the stretch in your banana. And maybe even relax a little bit in your banana. Try to push your ribs down. And we're going to walk our feet the other way in our banana. So come back to center, find neutral, walk your feet towards the left and your arms towards the left, and you are banana on the left side. I'll do it so you can see sideways too, because I don't know if you're seeing that fully. So here is banana to the left. Ignore that blanket, although it feels kind of nice. And walking the feet towards the left and the arms towards the left. We are in a banana. Breathe in. And breathe out as you get this side body stretch. Breathing in. And breathing out for your stretch on the side of your body. And then move your feet back to neutral. Come back to lying down mountain pose. And I'm just going to move this blanket out of the way so you don't have to have this there. But if you'd like, you could have it under your head. That's always a possibility, but not a big thing under your head, because unless you've got vertigo, it's just going to take your head out of alignment. We want our forehead and our chin and our nose in a level line. So here we are, lengthening the legs. Now push your ribs down and feel your ribs press down and push your feet away. Then take your right arm up overhead and back behind you, keeping the ribs pushing down into the mat. And then lift the arm back up and lower it down. Notice how the ribs might want to lift as you take this arm up. Like if you aren't consciously aware of it, these ribs are going to come up like that. I don't know if you can see it when I take my arm back. So push down, arm is back. Breathe in and breathe out. And let's lower the arm down and then do both arms. Ribs down, arms lift, push ribs down. If your ribs come up, then bring your arms back up. And you just keep working this. Push ribs down, take arms back. If the ribs lift, take the arms back up. You don't have to have your arms all the way back behind you and your ribs down. It is either is or it isn't, just based on our body. Let that go. And let's do a bridge. So push down through your feet. Push down through your feet. And we're going to lift our hips, but not all the way, maybe about halfway. Walk the shoulders underneath you a bit. Keep a space in between your neck and the mat. No flat necks pushing into the mat. Then arms can be a robot or long or interlaced behind you. Keep pushing feet down and pull your heels towards you. Feel your hamstrings activate. Let's exhale, lower the hips down. Next time you come up, you can come up the same way or push your heels down and lift your hips up. So it looks like this. Heels push down, rest of the foot is up, lift heels. Either way, feel your hips tone. You can touch your hips, see if they're toning. Pushing heels down, pull them towards you, feel your hamstrings activate. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breath is in. Breath is out. Let's lower the hips down, release them, release the feet. Let it go. It's time for our leg stretch and our final spinal twist, or anything that your body tells you it needs. So I'm going to use the strap here, put it around one foot. You can also have your hands behind the thigh and press the footprint up towards the sky. You know this is my favorite pose. I think it's so critical. We want to push our ribs down, but you can feel space in between your lower spine and the mat and be right here. You might play with pushing the ball of your foot into the strap, and you might feel more of a stretch in the calf area. Push, 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 push. Try not to lock the knee because it might decide it wants to lock. So if it does, you can take your hand back there and find a little space, give it a little massage back there. Seated, you certainly could be doing this with your strap seated, pushing your leg away from you, getting a good stretch. let's let it go and do the other side. So, you know, at least 30 seconds. At least 30 seconds. So take your time. Same thing. You can pulse it. Find your stretch. Maybe you're pushing big toe mounds away and really pushing through the ball of the foot, keeping knees soft, and you get a little bit of stretch in a different place than usual. Notice. Feel the leg bone go into the hip socket. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathing in and breathing out. Let's let it go. Lower the leg down. Now, find your spinal twist. So you can let your knees just kind of fall down. You get to vary it up. You can bring your knees towards you or away from you. That's going to change it up. In the chair, you're going to take one hand outside your thigh like we did earlier and find your twist. We feel a lengthening through the spine, and then we might turn our head the opposite direction when lying down. Breathe in. Breathing out. 3 to 5 breaths. And switching it up. Other side, when you're ready, you can always take more time than I'm taking, because I want to make sure I end on time, but you certainly can take more time. Taking your knees the opposite way, maybe turning your head the opposite way of the knees. Breathing in and breathing out. Soft breath. We're not really controlling it as we start to wind down our class. So you're going to think about what pose you want for your resting pose. Do you want your feet up on a chair, up the wall? I'm going to show just a little shoulder opener in case you want to do it. You can take your blanket and go the long way and fold it. And then you can make it into like a roll, like this. And then place it down on your mat. When you lie down, this roll is going to go underneath your armpits, your arm domes, and your shoulders are above it. So it looks like this. Your arms can be in T. So you're getting an opening where often it closes up. And this might be where you rest. So you're rolling the blanket. It's underneath, like you feel it underneath your shoulder. You feel it underneath your shoulder blades. And then you rest here. You might have a bolster under your knees too, or you could have your knees touching and your feet apart. And coming back to the breath. Slowly closing the eyes if that's available to you. Some people don't want to close their eyes, and that's okay. And stay here for a few minutes as you breathe in and you breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. In breath and out breath. And breathing in and breathing out. In breath and out breath. It's a relaxed breath. You're not really controlling it. So it could be very different than I'm guiding you with my words. In the length, the duration. Feel the breath. Listen to the breath. Be right here in this body. in this relaxing body, in this restorative pose, after moving for an hour. So you can stay as long as you want in your resting pose that you chose. I'm going to roll to the side in fetal position and then use my hands to come on up and come back to seated, but you can stay as long as you want. That was feeling really good with the roll behind the shoulders. I really encourage you to try some of these restorative poses. Restorative yoga can be really lovely. And we'll bring our Hakini Mudra back in front of our heart, or you can relax it down in your lap. And maybe you close your eyes and feel the pulse of the breath. And when you're ready, we'll take our hands in front of our heart. Palms touching is an expression of gratitude for this practice and our time together and the support of the Michigan Parkinson Foundation. Thank you so much for being with me on this fabulous Friday. You guys are all fabulous.
Yeah.
Namaste. I'm here for